If there's one thing most creators have in common is that they have trouble getting the reach they think they deserve. In fact, most people I ask say it's purely the algorithm's fault they don't get reach. And while it is the algorithm that's keeping them down sometimes, mostly there's other factors in play that people are not even aware of, and it mostly comes down to at least one of these three things. But honestly, thinking about it right now, a lot of the times it's all three combined. How do I know that? Well, I took a look at the accounts you comment down below here, or from the secret link in my description, wink. And let me just say, well, there is a pattern. But let's not get ahead, and let's just see if you can actually spot it yourself. The first one is something I feel like so many people know they should do better, but nobody's actually doing it. And it's something that just actually makes me very sad. When I look at my comments here, I go through them. For example, this one, Maestro Billionaire, says he tried a lot and it seems like it's not working out for him. And then I look at his profile. Let me just show you right here. Yeah. Kind of sad. You get what I mean? And a lot of the times it's actually people getting demotivated if things don't blow up right away, or they see their reach declining a little bit and then they start to slack off and this whole downward spiral starts. And to be honest, it's mostly not because the algorithm hates them, but because they actually started slacking off more and more. Let me show you an example where it's actually not as clear as you might think, but the pattern is there. So consider this a warning call if it's you. This is the profile. Calm is here. Her name is Sophia and she says her main issue is low visibility, which I understand. Now, looking at her profile, she's got an amazing product. I just have to tell you how it is. Huge potentials, if you ask me, but she does really have the consistency there. Here, look at this. These are all the reels to get to a serious growth level, if you know what I mean. If you can see the last post here, 26 September, August, July. Now, if you take a look here, it seems like she did post somewhat consistently for a while and her content quality is actually pretty good, but then it just suddenly stopped and yeah, people forget actually faster than you might think. And this is what people don't really understand. With the crazy amount of content produced every day, you just need to do your best to at least try to stay on top of everything and just try to stay relevant. Waiting and hoping for viral growth is definitely not what you want to do, which it sort of seems like what she's doing, even though her product looks amazing if you look at it right there. And I think there might be a viral potential here and there, to be honest, but never ever have this as your goal, my friends. Plus, if you actually do have something go viral at some point and you never post, it might actually hurt your account more than it does good, but more on that in a minute. So in her case, the only reason for her lack of growth and visibility, like she said, just comes down to her not posting regularly, not posting every day or at least a few times a week. Now, on top of that, looking at what she wrote in my forum, up until this point, she says her growth was sort of freestyle, which to me means no strategy at all, which is okay to some extent. And I could see she tried some stuff out, different content buckets. I could see some oddly satisfying vibes right there, for example, you know, also behind the scenes stuff, making of stuff. But then again, without throwing a bunch of different content ideas and buckets to the wall consistently, you can't even craft a strategy that you more or less know it's gonna work out because you just don't have the data. And so many accounts like this have the same issues, and the only way out of this is really to sit down and write down different content buckets, content ideas, make a plan for yourself, research what maybe others in similar niches or in the same niche are doing, and then go for quantity for at least 30 to 60 days straight to see if actually something sticks out more or not. Let me give you another example, actually thinking about it right now, from one of my students who grew from like 400 or 600 followers to basically more than 10,000 followers within just a few weeks. And looking at her case, we can learn something very powerful that almost nobody thinks about. And coincidentally, yeah, this is why I just thought about her right now. Her name is also Sophia. What a weird world if you think about it. Anyway, she had one of her reels go viral after, yeah, trying out a lot of different things. 1 million views right now. And what did I see right now? I didn't even notice that before. This small dot right there actually seems to be my face because this is a lesson from the Black File, my program. Wink, wink. What a good program it is, I guess. The most comprehensive course to learn how to build an Instagram strategy and grow your brand the right way with real strategies as opposed to some growth hacks. Link is down in the description. What a perfect way to do it. Almost 100,000 likes, which is quite a lot. And of course, it didn't hit 1 million views right off the bat. right within a day. Usually this thing happens gradually. I believe in this case, she told me it was even stuck for a few days at like 5 or 10K or something like this, which is a normal thing. But that's the really important lesson right here. Even though she didn't hit nearly as many views as she did with the first one, it still didn't stop her from being consistent. Even now, as you can see, there was one that actually slightly underperformed. This one, she seems to just have posted this one. That's what consistency is about, because it doesn't matter if this one is underperforming. She still serves her audience. And every once in a while, there's another one that's gonna pop, which I'm sure it did. 400,000 likes, then again, down, 200,000 likes. And if, let's say, this one pops, people come to her profile, they check out the Reels feed, see, wow, there's consistent content. This is when the snowball effect starts to happen and people actually follow. Now, there's a third thing that so many people are just not aware of, and it just blows my mind, to be honest, but let's see for yourself. Here's 2 different videos playing right next to each other. Which one do you think has more views? Right, probably the right one. Why? Is it just a gut feeling? Is it luck? Well, it's actually because it's not boring, and we've talked about it so many times here, and I feel like people sort of have a blind eye when looking at their own content, I guess. Me included, probably. But going through my comments, very commonly I see people say they do everything right and still get no growth. Like Lost Kingster, he said he tried my strategies, but his growth is still down despite being consistent with 1 to 2 reels daily. Unfortunately, he didn't leave his handle, and I didn't find it. Always do it. Whenever you have questions or anything, drop your handle in there in the question, your Instagram handle or whatever, without an @ or an hashtag, by the way. Otherwise, your comment might get flagged, by the way. But I actually managed to find the guy below who said basically the same. And he even said that posting every day is affecting his views negatively. And he feels like they shadow ban him because he's consistent. And there is probably somewhat of truth to that. It's not just in the way you think. It's actually quite the opposite, but let's take a look at his content first. So apart from his profile generally not really looking like he's a creator, you know, with a purpose, his content, yeah, is boring. Now hold on, I'm not saying his music or the content itself is actually boring, not at all. It's the packaging. Let me show you what I mean. In this clip, it takes a whopping 12.5 seconds until you actually hear him sing, until a complete stranger, if you will, actually grasps that this is actually about a song, not just some guy sitting in the field. But they don't even get to the whole part, they just hear a bunch of notes. 12.5 seconds. The average reel that has 100,000 views is at around 6 to 7 seconds total. And of course, you know, I get it. It's a real challenge for the creator to actually figure out a way to make people understand whatever your content is about immediately. Here's an example.
What's up, guys? Sean here. So quick little talk about manifestation, right? So
blah blah blah. So
everything
you know, people are gone by this time. Again, more than 6 seconds and nothing really happened so far. Actually pretty good. He got 550 views so far. Shows that there is some potential. And I actually took the liberty to quickly recut this very clip, which at first glance looks like it's very boring to just some stranger, to how I think it would work better. Whole thing took me about 15 minutes because I had to find some clips on his Instagram down there to cut into. You know, I cut all the pauses and cut away all the fluff. And here's actually what I came up with.
Everything that you project, it's going to most likely happen, right? So like with my music, anything I say in my songs always happens. Always. That's how it's been forever. So you gotta be careful with what you project or how you project and what you say.
Now, Sean, let me know if you want the file. By the way, I'm happy to send it to you. I actually really like what you do. You know, just the packaging is actually pretty boring and it's not gonna get you anywhere on social media these days. Small tweaks, however, you know, like the ones that I just showed you, definitely will. And to get started with the most important tweak that can take into account like Sean's to one that's actually blowing up left and right, yeah, watch this video next. It's probably the most important video you'll watch to get way more reach.